Hi guys, I'm Joe.
And I'm Allison.
And this is our Queer Cinema Catch-Up Update Mondays. I don't know what we're calling this. But basically what we're doing is we release podcast episodes on Thursdays. And then every Monday we're going to try to, in most cases, give a little recap on the podcast.
Yeah.
So last Thursday we released Furiosa, the 5th installment in the Mad Max franchise. And what were your thoughts?
I was kind of disappointed. That was really my main takeaway. I had sky-high expectations because I loved Mad Max, Fury Road.
But in the discussion during the podcast, didn't you kind of walk away appreciating it more and realizing things about themes, about connections between characters, of the intentions of what George Miller was trying to do?
Yeah, I guess. But I still feel like I wish it had been just like a little bit more propulsive.
Yeah.
A little queerer. A little bit more about Furiosa and less about whatever Chris Hemsworth's name was in Demetrius. My brother, by the way, I was texting him about the movie. He's a big Mad Max fan. He's the reason I saw Fury Road in the first place and the reason we had all the DVDs in our basement. Or no, VHSs in our basement growing up.
No.
They think a bolder choice, instead of doing a prequel, would have been to make a Mad Max movie where Anya plays Max.
Oh.
And I was like, where's that movie? This is not what we talked about in the podcast at all.
But yeah, I think the biggest takeaway too is this is Queer Cinema Catch-Up, where we talk about movies, TV, and other miscellaneous topics through a queer lens. It doesn't have to necessarily be a queer movie, but we're really excited for Furiosa because it seemed like Fury Road was quite a queer film. Charlize Theron's.
She had queer essence. Like you kept saying that. I don't know if I mean, it's kind of queer coded. I mean, she got short hair. She's got like a
She's bursting through doorways, bringing all these women on a giant truck and driving them to the
But look,
savior.
I'm a queer woman and I couldn't do any of that stuff. A straight woman could do it too. I'm just saying, like, it's a movie for women. But then somebody said,
What?
Somebody in the podcast I taught this film in a class when I was a graduate assistant teacher, and the kids, the Gen Z people,
Weren't into it.
They said they thought it wasn't feminist. So I could be wrong, but I'm just a old millennial whose feminism might be outdated.
Should we get an official rating?
Well, I think I went from a C to a C+. But then after seeing some other things that we've watched for the pod recently, I'm thinking I should bump it up. Actually, I'm going to give it a B minus.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to go higher. I'm not.
I would say a B minus.
Oh, so then we agree.
I thought you'd say with a C plus. Really? A B minus for you?
Well, we talked about how the other movie we saw, which will...
All right, wait. Whatever you say on our Monday review, you're committed to...
On the podcast, you told me that anything I say, I'm not committing to.
But this is video. This isn't a podcast.
That's true. I can't take it down.
Okay, what's your official rating after reflecting after our podcast?
I don't know.
All right, Allison rates it a I don't know. I give it a B minus. What other segments we can do on this?
Favorite character? But you can't say Furiosa. I don't have one.
Yeah, I thought you were the guitar guy from the flashback.
I hate the guitar guy.
Did you know that's Riley Keough's husband?
No.
Yes.
That's sad. That's so upsetting.
He was a musician in real life. I'll say my favorite character is the guy who rubs his nipples a lot.
You hated him.
He just brings a lot.
I'm really upset because there are no other women I can select as my favorite character.
I mean, you could pick her mom.
Like Fury Road, even if you're like kind of off-put by the characters in the beginning, there are so many of them that get these like redemptive arcs that you kind of are endeared to almost all of them by the end, with the exception of Immortan Joe. This one, maybe that's the point it's trying to make, because the world's messed up.
I think we talked about that on the podcast, as you said, that what Fury Road did was really promote the possibility of, maybe a matriarchal society is best.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow. But then in this prequel, it says, actually, all societies will eventually become corrupt at some point.
I think it was saying, like, people can have the capacity for good and evil, and no one is wholly good or wholly evil, so no gender is wholly good or wholly evil. Also, gender's not a binary, which they played with by having Furiosa disguise herself as a boy. Even so, they couldn't really explore that because the only woman in the movie was Furiosa, the good mom who went after her daughter, and the slaves who had one scene and are kind of still described as pure at the end of the movie. But how... They're just kind
of like, trust us.
They're like, these are angels.
Anyway, back to Chris Hemsworth.
I was going to say that we can't promise on these Monday. We should come up with a name. So I feel like...
Monday reviews.
something catch up with the catch-up. You know what I'm saying?
Catching up with QCC.
I want to like double the catch-up.
Why don't we call it Double Ketchup Mondays?
That is it. That's it.
All right, this is the first episode of Double Ketchup Mondays.
I knew you could get there. I'm not good at wordplay, but like I can see what would be good. Double Ketchup Mondays.
Double Ketchup Mondays is where we catch up with our previous podcast that we released last Thursday.
And we can't promise a Double Ketchup Mondays that we will be consistent with what we said in the podcast. So enjoy. And should we catch up quickly with one another? Just like throw out something random.
Yes.
We did today on catching up with, what's it called? Double Ketchup Mondays.
Double Ketchup Mondays.
What did you do on Double Ketchup Monday?
We ordered Lucifer's Pizza.
So good. We had the hot Italian whatever. It was so good. You know what was really good about it?
What?
It had the jalapeno, but then it had like sweet fried onions.
Yeah.
And I was like, whew.
It was spicy and sweet. Which describes our podcast and Double Ketchup Mondays.
Should we say what's coming up this week?
Under the Bridge Part 2 is next. And then next up on the forecast, next up what I'm seeing in the crystal ball is The Watchers.
One thing I was thinking is I actually think that this is a pretty short run, and I'm wondering if it should come out during the run. A Strange Loop.
Which our Double Ketchup Mondays start becoming redundant because we are catching up on
We're telling
all
everybody.
of our future podcasts.
Like,
There's no rules on Double Ketchup Monday.
It's like we're getting them excited and then we're recapping. For people who don't like podcasts,
Yes.
who only want a 5-minute
A double
clip.
video. So lots of exciting stuff coming on the Queer Cinema Catchup podcast. We are available anywhere where you can stream podcasts pretty much. We also post all the podcasts on this YouTube channel. We're trying to release videos, release shorts. Are the lights dimming?
Okay, yes, I've noticed this. The way it's set up, we have these lights that are set
Oh,
on.
it dims when the sun sets.
It's turning on, but it ends up dimming. It's very annoying because I've been like very confused by it. Thank you for joining us for Double Catch Up Mondays. We hope you tune in for Queer Cinema Catch Up Thursdays, and you download the podcast and you give it a listen. We would really appreciate it, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And listen to our last episode, Furiosa.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Where I gave it a B-.
And I gave it an IDK.